Outside the Box should be viewed by mature audiences only. This show contains strong language, adult situations, drinking, ass-kicking fun, law-breaking nonsense, running with scissors, and just about everything your mother told you not to do. In other words, we are a bad influence and are irresponsible adults. Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from Studio 630 in the burbs of Chicago. It is time now for another episode of Outside the Box. Outside the Box. With your hosts, Oz Osborne and Pee Wee Taylor.
And we are back. It's been a long fucking time,
It's
Pee-wee.
been a minute.
We got to relearn this shit all over again.
I know, we forgot how to do it. We took a month off, and now we got to...
Well, not only that, but we overly complicated everything again.
Of course we did.
Because we've got 1, 2, 3 mics. We got this little thing. This is supposed to make us sound better. I'm scratching it.
It's supposed to be a pop filter.
We got that. But, you know, we did a recording with Frankie earlier and everything went great. And then we decided that we were going to change the program, and guess what? It doesn't fucking work again.
Figured that.
So we're back to one mic. Anyway, we are back. We missed all our deviants and douchebags out there.
We did.
We needed that break, but it doesn't seem like there was a break.
No, because it flew by. Hopefully we didn't lose any viewers. Hopefully nobody forgot about us.
Hopefully nobody forgot. But we're going to get back into it. We're going to slow it down just a little bit. We're going to do it so that we've got one every other week, which will allow us to film like maybe basically once a month or so.
Just about. Because like, we can sit down and do a whole bunch at once and then chop it up so in smaller pieces.
Main issue we've got is it's summertime. We got car shows, which we did a car show.
Camp and Drag's coming up too.
Camp and Drag's coming up. We got to get cars ready. And I'll tell you, for me, the whole thing was I didn't get a break because I ended up painting shift knobs the whole time.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody for buying shift knobs. And I'm not complaining. But, anyway, what the hell's new with you?
Shit. Tags are about to expire on the XA. I'm going to have to bring the XB home and put it back on the road. Transfer the plates over before they go bad.
You got to specify now, XB1 or XB2.
Yeah, that's right. I have two, and they're both different. But, yeah.
So you're going to bring the XB1 home and do some shit to get it to its perfectly right.
It's just it runs and idles okay. It's like it wants to die after third gear. Like when you pull it out of gear.
I think it needs to just run.
Yeah, but if I get it home, well, I still have to rebuild all the air management in it. I want to do a little more body work on it.
I drug it, by the way.
When?
Last weekend.
Mine?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you got it on shop air, and I needed to back it up so I can blow the leaves out of my driveway and shit. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm not going to air it up. I just fucking backed it up, and over the crown of the thing, I drug the shit out of it.
That's okay. I drug the shit out of it coming here, so.
There's no oil coming out of it, so it must be good.
Yeah.
So we went to Missouri for relaxing
In the park.
in the park, which was not at the park, it was at the college.
Because the park flooded. The park had like 10 feet of water or something.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
We met up with Britton with the XB2.
Yep.
Freaking guy's crazy. I thought I was crazy. I think he's crazy.
He took me for a ride in it.
He did take you for a ride.
It feels the same until you're dragging the subframe. I'm like, are we skating it? Yeah, we're skating it. Oh, okay.
So we went down there. We hung out with him for quite a while. He's in Vertically Challenged Missouri, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we hung out with him. There was another guy down there with a first gen. Unfortunately, I don't remember his name.
Slipped, but
Didn't get
his
any
was cool, too.
I didn't get any pictures of his car because I figured, oh,
I think I did.
He's going to be here for a while. I'm going to get pictures later. Well, if you got him, I need him.
Well, and it was funny because everyone at that show left at like 4 o'clock.
They did.
Everyone just got
Everyone
up.
wanted to go to the hotel. It was so much fun at the hotel.
Well, I hope everybody was at one hotel, so.
So get this. We go to the hotel, right? And he knows where I'm going already. We get to the hotel. We check in. They give us these cards. And it says, good for 3 beverages. And we're like, okay. So what are these for? We don't know. They got a freaking pop thing right next to the...
Yeah, they got free fountain soda.
free fountain drinks.
I've never seen that
He's
in a
like,
hotel.
well, this is for that. And I go, but wait a minute. Why does it say drink responsibly? So a little bit later, we're sitting there, and the guy that checked us into the hotel, he's like by the elevator, and Pee Wee's like, hey, what is this for? Go ahead and tell us.
And he goes, oh, I'm going to be mixing up drinks. And it's like a cocktail hour from 5 to 7. You get 3 drinks. I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that this hotel is going to feed a bunch of mini truckers alcohol? This ought to be good. So we go down there, and he's not mixing up anything. They had...
Wait a minute. I'm going to cut you off. We're going to go back a little bit here, a little bit more.
Okay.
So we
Go
decide Pee Wee's got to go. He wants to go to the Budweiser.
We went to the Budweiser plant.
which was cool. And we hung out there for a little while, and we're like texting back and forth. We got like a group chat going, and I'm like, all right, well, they're all trying to get dinner. And I'm like, well, did anybody think about this drink thing that's going on? And then the conversation just kind of died.
Yeah.
And then we get back to the hotel, and we roll up to the drink thing, and all of our Sunset brothers and sisters are there.
They just happened to be there.
It just kind of happened that we were all sitting there at the drink.
Naturally, we'd all be where the free booze
Okay,
is.
now you can tell them about the drinks.
So here were the drink choices. There was 3 big bottles of wine and a keg of Bud Light. I'm like, all right, well, pour up the Bud Light. So I guess he was struggling with the tap. I guess it wasn't working
Before
right.
we got there.
And then so he poured it out of a pitcher, and the beer was just not good.
Dude.
So we gave up on that venture.
It was so bad that all
We
of
didn't
our
even
brothers and
finish it.
sisters were drinking wine.
They switched over to wine. Well, the wine's got more booze in it anyway, so.
So that was funny, but we had a good time. One of the things we want to bring up is we got Camp and Drag coming up.
Camp and Drag is coming up.
And what I'm thinking is that should be our big push for more XBs to come.
There's quite a few that already go, but I think we can get a couple
Britton,
more.
we need you to come again. We got to hang out
He's
with you.
going to come. He'll be there.
Anybody in the area? Bob, you went one year. We need you to come back.
His wife doesn't let him stay out, though.
That's all right. He can be there for one day. We'll let you.
Yeah, he
But
comes on Saturday.
We got to get James to go.
Yes.
Sign up. Go on their website. You get an application. Get her. She's going to need one, too.
Okay.
But
So here's what I'm going to bring up now, because he hit on it, and for those guys that don't know, this is what's got to happen. You have to go to Camp and Drag. Where do you got to go?
go to, I want to say it's campanddrag.com, but if you go to Instagram, type in Camp and Drag, go to their page, and it's got a link right to the application.
Okay, yeah, you have to fill out an application. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that you got to be approved to get into the show. Well, I guess it does, but it's not. They've had a lot of problems at this show.
A lot of local rednecks with lifted trucks came in one year and wrecked the grounds, and it was getting out of hand. So they narrowed it down to people with actual show cars.
So you have to fill out an application. Now, in that application, you have to list, what do they call that?
References.
References,
People you
thank
know.
You can put down Oz or Kevin Taylor. For once, we're going to use his real name. From Sunset, you can put his post down as references. You can.
I'll vouch.
I'll vouch for you. If you say Jim, the guys from Ballistic aren't going to know who I am. You got to say Oz. Use that. Put us in there. Those guys will hit us up and say, hey, are these guys cool? I don't know. Are you guys douchebags? If you are,
I think XB people are mild, man. Well.
anyway, we'll get you. You do that, and we'll get you guys in. But you have to do that. You can't just roll up to the show and be like, I'm in.
Don't drive to Waveland, Indiana, because they'll send you right out.
They'll turn you right around.
Yeah.
But we want to see you guys out there. If you've been there before in the last couple of years, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're new and you want to go, you have to do this. And it would be great to get everybody together to do some more pictures like you guys did down there in Maggie Valley.
Yeah, and I didn't get everyone together until Sunday, but it just kind of fell right into place.
So
Camp and Drag's easy to do that, though. There's so much room. And
I'll tell you this. I have never had anybody that went that didn't have a good time.
oh, it's always a
And
good
I'm
time.
not talking just car people. My girlfriend wants to go. Her son wants to go. Her son's friend wants to go. It's a good time.
It's a great time.
Now, if you do go, there's one issue that we've got to figure out, but we'll talk about this at a later date, because if you do go, we need to know you're coming to look for you, because once you're there, there's no way to get hold of
There
us.
is. Oh, yeah. Well, the signals, my phone works, but it's real spotty, and the internet signal sucks. But, like, and the other thing is, it's easy to, like, lose people because it's like a whole campground.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
we'll figure that out at a later date. But we'd like to see you guys. We'd like to shake hands with people and whatnot. And it was really a good time to hang out with people down in Missouri. So hopefully we can see more.
We'll have gear. We'll have hats, stickers, and koozies as always.
Yes, we got some shit coming up. That's a good thing you brought that up.
Mm.
We got hats. We're already running out of hats. Thanks, Frankie, for buying the hat. We got some hats. We're going to have to get some more hats made.
Yeah.
But
We'll hit up Brian.
we use all that stuff to buy this merchandise that we got. And hopefully now we just need more money so we can hire somebody that knows how to work it. Anyway,
We got a wonderful production crew back there.
we'll figure this out. But we did get screwed on our lighting.
Yeah, we got scammed.
That's on me. So watch
Well-
when you buy that shit from China.
Yeah, it's shipped and the website
It's gone.
disappeared.
But we'll talk about that.
That's
We don't
another
need to
thing.
talk about that.
No.
So anyway, we want to thank you guys for buying products. We are going to put that shit out there again. And we're trying to figure out a way where you can just click a button, but we haven't figured that out yet.
Not yet.
We got hats. We got some shirts on the way. You've seen Rando? Has anybody seen Rando with the
Yeah.
box
Oh yeah.
shirt?
He keeps putting up his shirt.
He's got the shirt. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a pre-order for that. So we got a few little things to work out on where the money's going to go and whatnot. But we're going to, if you want a shirt, let us know. We're going to get that together. And what we're going to do is, I think it's $25 for the shirt
Yep.
shipped. And we just got to figure out how we're going to spend the money around. I think we're going to send it to Steve Ball. He's a pretty stand-up dude. He can send us the money.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll work it out.
So we'll figure out which email that's got to go to. We'll put it on something here because we're going to do a commercial for
We'll
our
get you the
merchandise.
deets.
We got another thing I'm going to do in this episode, which I just started. I was watching the things go on All Time Low. You know, they got that on the wall type thing.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. But we're going to do a video for it. Frankie posted a picture of his on there, so he would be on the show, but he's already on the show.
True.
But we're going to do that. We're going to go, all right, first 20 pictures, put it up. You're going to be in the thing. We're going to put you into this debauchery thing or whatever, and we're going to throw that up there.
Piece it all
So
together.
you guys can see your shit because we want the nice, pretty pictures. for all the
I think
stuff.
it's starting to drizzle.
Okay, I guess so. We're going to say that's the end
But
now.
before we go, we have a special guest. We got Frankie in the house from NY.
We do, doing an interview, and you will see that on the other side of a few commercials. Jeff. We got.
Okay.
So you know what?
Chief.
What up, Frankie?
And we are live. We are here with a very special guest, Mr. I'll let him introduce himself.
Frankie from New York.
Frankie from New York. Welcome back, brother. It's good to see you.
Good to see you guys again.
For you guys that don't know, Frankie here, he comes into town here. How many weeks you been here now?
I'm on my second week, so I'll be back though.
But he's been here. You were here 2 weeks before that, right?
I was here for 2 weeks, left for 2 weeks, came back for 2 weeks. It's a trend, man.
So he what he did was he hit us up on one of the boards, I think, and said, "Hey, is there anybody in Chicago?" And we put together a little get together with a bunch of guys,
We had a good turnout. We had like what, 10?
10 or so.
Yeah, about 10.
It was a good turnout.
Yeah.
Got everybody together and hooked up and ate some chicken wings and whatnot. And then Frankie actually came out here one weekend and hung out on a Saturday, I think, or Sunday or something. And just figured we'd put microphone and cameras up this time. So we're glad to have you.
He's a cool cat.
Which is interesting because I was sitting here thinking about it. You know, we always talk about California, but we don't know much about car culture in New York.
No.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's not as like over here it's pretty tame. Like you go down the street in New York, any street, any given day, doesn't matter where you are, you're gonna see a hooked up car somewhere.
Really?
Out here it's a little, I've seen maybe 2 or 3.
Cars are boring out here.
Yeah, well, I don't know how it is in the city itself. I know in the burbs here, I know when I drive, I'm running into imports all the time. But, you know, towards the city, I know the roads suck.
Oh, Chicago is just, it's like a bombed out city. It's just like every road has potholes.
Well, not only that, and like Claudia, who you met at the thing.
She's talking about lifting her XB because the potholes are so bad she can't get across town.
Yeah,
It's
and
like-
she's got problems with people getting in, you know, breaking in or not. Was it breaking in, or was she just has problems with people damaging the car and whatnot?
Oh, people
She
back
isn't
into it
seeing
and-
It's
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
Oh, well, you'll see every bumper's chewed up from license plates from people parallel parking. They just
Yeah.
tap into you like it's nothing, you know.
No
So-
respect,
That's
no
anywhere
respect.
though, you know.
So where exactly are you in New York?
I'm all over the place. I actually just moved out to Long Island. I'm from the boroughs, born in the Bronx, lived in Queens.
So New York, New York.
New York, New York. Yeah.
Not like suburbia, New York. Like really
I'm in suburbia now. I mean, somewhat suburbia, but it's still, it's not like you go upstate New York. Like that's
Yeah,
like the woods
that's-
and everything like that. But it's still pretty. It's suburban-ish. Let's say
Right.
that. You
Yeah.
know.
But you guys have, you know, from our conversations, you were telling me that there's a pretty good Scion community over there.
They have it's wearing down a little bit. Just
Yeah.
because everybody's getting a little bit older. So oh yeah, I had my XB, I had my TC, whatever. It's like, hey, what are you doing now? Yeah, I got a minivan, and
I'll tell you what, some of those minivans, I follow Van Culture on Instagram. Like those Odysseys, they look good bagged. It's like I don't know if it's the way the side skirts are or whatever, but they just air down nicely without having to really cut them apart.
yeah, they have a big. It's actually growing right now in New York with all like the Siennas and
Yeah.
the Odysseys, and everybody's got like 22s on their minivans.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
with
they-
car seats in the back.
Well, you can buy a Sienna with 20s right out of the dealership now, so they have room for them.
It fits it nicely.
Yeah.
They do. I don't know what it is about them, but like I don't know. I don't know if I. The thing is, that's not cheap to get into because I mean, if you get a loaded up Sienna, it's like $60,000.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What car's cheap anymore, man?
You can't really
The
buy
Camry
anything.
Loaded is like what, 25 or more? A Corolla. The Corolla's
Oh no, a Corolla's in like the mid 20s now
Yeah.
for a Corolla. I mean, a
Pushes start
Camry, you can get a Camry up into the high 30s for sure.
40s.
At that point, you just get a Lexus. That's it.
No, literally, like when they came out with the new body style in 07, for the cost of a fully loaded Camry with the V6, you were in Lexus territory.
Yeah.
But we want to keep the Scion scene alive because here it's the same thing. It's dwindled down, but you still have your clan of people who aren't going to give up on it.
I'm just out of. I don't like any of the new cars, to be honest.
I don't either.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching. I don't know if you guys have watched any. There's a YouTube channel called Donut. And
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
They do
I
a
think
lot
I've
of
seen that.
car stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching one the other day where they were talking about why new cars suck. And they're talking about like the new Chevys. And I was telling my dad about it. He's like, oh, mine's like that. Chevy Suburban or Tahoe. The steering wheel's not connected. to the
Yeah.
steering
Yeah,
at all. It's
Everything's
connected to an
computerized.
electric motor.
Yep.
How the hell are you getting feedback driving that thing down the road?
That's the problem with even modern sports cars. There is no feedback.
You know, I feel that through the brake pedal. I feel the road. I feel from my steering wheel.
Yeah.
I need that.
You
I
need the
couldn't-
feedback because these cars are so disconnected now. It's like even a second gen, they've got those electric throttle bodies, and then you get like where you get off the gas and the revs just hang because of fuel economy and whatever.
Well, let's get back to it here.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a little bit. I know you got several guys you hang with out there in New York,
Yeah.
and
You know what it is? It's just like it's like your childhood. You know, you find a group of people that have the same interest to you, and it just dwindles on. You know,
Right.
Like it'll go like, oh yeah, you know, like if one person keeps it alive, it pretty much stays through that group of people. You know, so
Yeah.
that's a good way to look at it. You know, because right now, and I was going to ask you this: what do you think about how Scion is going now? It seems like a lot of the guys are getting out of it, and there's a lot of every week we see part outs or somebody's getting in a wreck,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's dying a little bit.
I'm seeing a lot of like new people. There's a new generation of people buying these things up because now they're hitting that sub 3,000 range, and I feel like you're getting a lot of like teenagers and new drivers, and it's like it's
Well, it's
just
that,
not the
but
same. You know,
It's not, and if you look at the boards, it's a little goofy. But what do you think about that, Frankie?
You know what? It's kind of it's a win-win because everybody who's really that into it, all right. You got people that were starting to get like work on their cars or whatever. Realize it's expensive. If you want something nice, it's gonna be expensive. And then you got those people who are, you got like those people who buy the Harleys and they're weekend drivers,
yeah.
So it's kind of like that. You get somebody who starts to get into it and then loses interest quick and then starts selling off their stuff, or you have, a couple of OGs or whatever that, listen, they've been in the game long enough, they, want to go a different direction or whatever it is, and they'll start selling off their stuff, and it helps out that new generation coming in because
that's a way to look at it.
now listen, these are parts that you couldn't get 6-7 months ago, and now they became available. So
Yeah.
it's a win-win.
That's a good way to look at it.
It's a different perspective.
It's very hard. I'm noticing like I get on there and I'm finding myself doing less and less on the boards because I'm not seeing the people that I used to, and it's kind of odd to me. And it's like we got to start all over again because now we got to teach all these new guys. But it's fine, but it's definitely. But I definitely agree with what you're saying there with the OG thing, and bringing that stuff back. And people do have to realize this is something that's expensive. James and I were talking about taillights. He's making taillights now and throwing prices out there, and people are going, "That's a lot of money."
Yeah.
If you
Well,
want to stand
retrofit,
out, it's going to be a lot of money. If you want that JDM thing, those taillights and those parts are not cheap.
Well, and here's the other thing that's going on with these parts too. They're not making any more of them. Is anybody actively making XB parts on the market that you can buy aftermarket from like eBay or Andy Auto or whatever?
I wouldn't say that there's anybody new. I'm saying the people are keeping the old stuff going, like your Sonars and Spiders.
like the aftermarket wings, you can still get some of them. The headlights, taillights on eBay, you can still get them. But like some of that harder to find stuff, like body kits, are getting hard because they stopped making them. So now you're buying up what's left, and a lot of them are broken. A lot of them are gone. Some of these cars got totaled. So what we're dealing with now is, I think within the next couple of years, you're going to be dealing with parts issues.
well, you
Like
are.
mechanically or not, because there's a couple million between Echo Yaris, or is Echo XB and XA are interchangeable. But I'll tell you what, even my XA, I'm having a hard time finding parts for that car.
Well, you're going to until you get to the point where it becomes a collector or a classic.
Yeah, until they start repopping parts. Like,
But you guys got to understand now, one of the most expensive things about making stuff is the tooling.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see anybody out there popping new parts and be like, a new body kit. No, it's not going to happen in a car that's, 10, 15 years old.
right.
Yeah, and the big problem is, so you got everybody, especially in the XB game, All right. If you get a rep part, you're
not
gonna
the same.
you're gonna get shit on. So it's like, okay, you got this body kit that they stopped making it, and there's only 2 in the U.S. or whatever, and then somebody buys one, makes a mold, and then starts reproducing that. Oh, but it's not a real kit. It all depends on the person themselves. If you're comfortable buying rep parts and you really don't give a shit, that's on you. Listen, it's all about the quality of how it's made. You could build a rep part and you could build it twice as good as the original part.
Right.
But you got to understand that not every build is going to be exactly the same. There might be a weak point over here on this one. This one might have came out perfect. This one might have, the lip is it cracks easy or whatever. It just depends on who's building it.
Well, and not only that, you could have one guy that's got a car that's never been in an accident. He bolts that bumper up and it fits fine. Oh, it fits perfect. The next guy buys it. His car's been hit in the passenger side. It doesn't fit right.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the car's not right. Another problem we have is that the Scions altogether are not all that common. Or what should I say? Not common, but they're not all the same.
Yeah.
They're thrown together so fast. And I got this when I was talking to the guys from Airlift, because I was talking to them about their air struts and how when I put them on, the car went positive. And he's like, it's the weirdest thing. We had some cars that went positive. We had some cars that went negative. It's because of how they're built.
Well-
so it's not just that. These cars are thrown together fairly quick. It's not a Lexus where they're taking their time.
Yeah.
So, some of that does play into factor.
Well,
but
and the other thing, you guys, that we got to keep in mind is these are economy cars.
Exactly.
They were never expensive cars. Like an XB is not built the same way a Camry is. You know what I mean? Like it's based off the Echo platform. They were meant to be cheap. So what we're dealing with now is what's happening is, all right, they stopped making a first gen in 06 and a half. Like you're dealing with cars that are now we're past the 10-year mark. These cars are getting old, and what I'm noticing is I'm finding more and more XBs in salvage yards,
Well, yeah, and you guys got
which
also
is
got-
kind of nice.
You got to realize too, some of these guys that are going out buying these things, a 10-year-old car that hasn't been hit or damaged in some
hard
way,
to find.
it's pretty fucking hard to find.
And also where it's been, because a lot of them are starting to rust.
Yes.
That's the problem I had because I was trying to find a daily first gen years ago, and everyone I looked at was a piece of garbage, rotted out, body damage, insane mileage, didn't run right. It was one thing or the other. Everyone I looked at.
And these cars are like, honestly, they're made of tin. Like
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
you can just prick it with the side, your finger, and you hear an echo in there. Like
Exactly.
but for what it's worth. On my first Gen 1, I had the car for 2 months. Pulled out of a parking spot. Somebody came around the corner, took the whole front end of my car off. And because it's 2 months old, and I got it in 04, they were like, okay, we're just gonna fix it, and
Right.
it costs just as much to fix the car as I paid for the car.
Right.
So, but I also had that car. That happened when I had maybe 6,000 miles on the car. I had that car till almost 300,000 miles. And that wasn't my. I got rear-ended 3 times in that car. I got the whole front end taken off. That on that first accident, the whole car got sideswiped, and then they took off the front end. So
Oh, wow.
like that. But that car took a beating, and like I said, those cars are they're basically made of tin. But it's actually reasonable. Well, it used to be reasonable enough to fix that car. Because the motor ran till almost 300,000, and I beat the crap out of the car.
Well, that's like my XA. I don't think my XA was under the best care, but it's got 282,000. It still runs. It's rough, and you can tell it's tired, but it still runs. So,
Well, and the cars aren't worth as much as what we're at now.
well, no,
so.
they total out so easy now.
Well, because the cars, you got a car with, like we said before, 160,000 miles, and it worth maybe 200 or $2,000 or something. Not quite 3, but
well, I've seen a couple first gens with under 50K on them,
that's worth
and
it.
they're going for $5,000 all day.
Which is perfectly fine. Which still that seems really.
I think
cheap for
that's
that.
worth it.
Listen,
I
there's
think
some guy
that's
in New York
absolutely
that's
worth
selling one that's 50,000 miles. It's
it.
stick.
Yellow, right? The RS one?
No. I think it's white. I seen it on I think Let's Go, and he put it up on there, and it says 50-something thousand miles on it, he wants $6,000 for it, and I'm like, you know what? If it wasn't a stick, because I'm just tired of driving stick in New
Yeah, I
York,
hear that.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
was like, I would jump on that. It's so quick, but also, you know, like, it's not my decision anymore because if I buy another car, my girlfriend's gonna put me to the curb. And whatever. But you know, like you'll see them here and there going for a decent price, and it's like, okay, even if it was a freaking Mercedes, like that's worth it. You know, you find a car with low mileage.
Well, what
Yes.
happens
for under
is,
$10,000.
if
know?
you don't know these cars, let's say you're just like some person, you're gonna be like, how is that car worth $6,000? It's like, no, that car's worth $6,000. Like,
Yeah.
keep that price where it needs to. I like if I was gonna sell a mint, like a really minty one, I wouldn't drop the price on it. It's what it's worth. Somebody will buy it.
You know what it is? People just look at like a blue buck value, and they're like, "This is what I'm listing it
Fucking
for."
blue book
You
value.
know.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
you gotta remember, not everybody's a car person, so they just,
Exactly.
they're like, all right, let me look on the internet, see what I can find, and see what it's worth, and that's what I'm gonna ask for it.
That's the problem with trucks out here. Everyone out here selling a truck think their truck is made of gold.
Everybody thinks their stuff's made of gold. Doesn't matter what. it is.
Yeah, but
So let's back it up a little bit. How did you get into it? You said you got your first one in 03, I believe it was.
I got my first one in 04. I got my first one in November of 04, and by the time January came around, I was already like I had the kit on it, and you know whatever. I seen as soon as I bought mine, I got into the XB forums. All
Yeah.
right,
Club XB, yeah.
and you know they had the OGs were on there, and back then even this was in 04, 05, like they were done. Like it was like Sakura was on there, you had D Train on there,
Yeah.
and all their stuff was just like, it's like, okay, I want that, I want that, I want that, and that's, I mean, you basically you're looking at other people's builds and seeing what you can do. And I mean, I've been a car guy since I was like 13. I had my first car at 14, 15, and I couldn't drive it. It was sitting in the driveway, but I was already putting work into it
Right.
when I was that young. And like I've been part of, I had a 240 SX with a Skyline motor in it. I had everything from, I had a Grand National, I had Buick Regals, I had Mustangs, and I never got into that, into the Jap scene or whatever. And then I started getting into it, and then seeing all the extra stuff that you can do. They're not as fast as a muscle car or anything like that, but it's a fun activity. It's not, you're not just building this car for racing. You're building it for
Right.
it's
It's
not
just fun.
fast. Like, oh yeah, people like, not against anything with people who buy superchargers for their XB or turbos or anything, but like to me it's a 108 horsepower car. Stop.
Right.
Like you throw that in there, like yeah, I got 135 horsepower now.
Yeah, it's almost
All
as
right,
fast
fine.
as a second gen.
I just beat that moped. Like it's not really. It's to
Here's-
me it's all about show with this car, and it's
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and that's just it. And I don't, people ask you about it, why a Scion, but
Why not? That's
there's
what I
just
thought.
something about it.
yeah.
What is it that drew you to it?
It's like I said, it's just a fun car. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
it's roomy. All right, I was tired of having two seaters where I had I'm getting two people in the back seat and then I'm sitting on the steering wheel. Like that back seat in the Gen 1, everybody who gets into my car
Has
sits
room.
in there, and it's like I wasn't expecting all this room. I was like, yeah, it's like a mini hotel. Like just move in or whatever. Don't scratch anything out.
It's incredible how much legroom they have. Like people can't believe how much legroom there is. It's like
Well, it's not even just a leg room. I mean, like, you look at the car from the outside, and you're like, oh, it's a little box car or whatever, and then you get inside, and you could fully extend your arms, and
Yeah, it's definitely misleading.
you can lean the seat back to the point where you can lay down in the car,
Yup.
So
Yup.
like, it's not just that it's a fun car, it's
functional.
It's super. Yeah, it's you can have fun with it. It's maintains its functionality, and
then they don't
you know,
break. They just don't
yeah,
break either.
Everything, even if it does break, it's okay. Yeah, I just spent $25 to replace that part. It's
Yeah,
a Lego
everything's
car,
cheap.
really,
Yeah.
what it is.
I used a 10 mil and a 12 mil. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
That was good.
It was good.
Good time.
Frankie's a great guy.
Yeah.
We can say that now that he left.
Now we can start talking shit about him.
I don't talk shit, do I? Don't answer that. Anyway, thanks guys for watching.
Did he
this.
actually leave or?
No, I think he went to do so. We had a rain that we had to like end that, and then we had to scramble.
We had to
check
go
on the
and
windows
shut
in
the
the
top.
car.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're back at it, guys. Thanks you guys for watching us. We love all the freaking positive influence you guys are.
Feedback.
Feedback. Blah, blah, blah. It's about
No,
time I
agree.
lost my voice or what I was saying. Thank you guys for watching. Help us out though. Keep sharing and getting the word out there for us.
Like, share, subscribe.
And if you want some merch and you want to show us, some love, do that as well. We've got the products, so we appreciate those that've got it before. We're gonna have some more stuff coming out, like we said. So, all right, we're gonna cut this off, and you'll get to see part 2 of Frankie in another week or so. And we'll see you on the boards.
Out.
What up, y'all? Yeah, soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Woo! If y'all ain't know, I go by the name of Lupe Fiasco, representing that 1st and 15. Yeah, and this one right here, I dedicate this one right here to all my homies out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? Legally and illegally. You know what I'm talking about? So, check it out. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped, landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had to talk with a list like this. Now we can end the story right here, but shorty didn't quit, it was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something so appealing, he couldn't fight the feeling, something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, couldn't understand it. Branded, since the first kick flip he landed. Labeled a misfit, a bandit. Cocoon, cocoon, cocoon. His neighbors couldn't stand it, so he was banished to the park. Started in the morning, one stopped after dark. Yeah, when they said it's getting late in here, so I'm sorry, young man, there's no skating here. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. And away he rolled, just a rebel to the world with no place to go. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. So come and skate with me, just a rebel looking for a place to be. So let's kick and push.